But because we had Purim on Wednesday night and we had the weekday books set out, you may have inadvertently grabbed one of the weekday books. So check to make sure that you have the right book. And that way, when I call page numbers, you won't look at me funny. I mean, you might look at me funny anyways. That happens when you're funny looking. Tonight is exciting because we not only have all of you here, but we have you here wearing your many hats. I also have many hats that I wear throughout the week. Tonight I have several hats that I can wear to be a little bit playful because tonight is our celebration of Purim on Shabbat, and we have our video Purim spiel, which we'll see in approximately 45 minutes, I'm hoping. I should also thank this evening's sponsors. Tonight is officially sponsored by Adlo Yada. For those who know, Adlo Yada, Ad Lo Yada, means until you can't tell the difference between one person and another person. That's how much we're supposed to celebrate Purim. That's how happy we should be. So joyful that we can't tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys. Of course, we're living in a moment in time when it's also very painfully clear who the good guys and the bad guys are, right? So, without much further ado, I'll invite you all to turn to page, let's turn to page 332, because the first song we'll sing, a song of welcome, I think will be easy to do because you probably all know the words. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Words ascribed to King David about how good it is for us to be dwelling together. turn back to page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, Jen. We'll be seeing more of Jen later in her alter ego. Let's turn to page 12 as we begin our journey through the Psalms with Lechu Neranena. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena l'Adonai, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, letzor yishenu, ekad mafana b'tohoda. Naria, Naria, letzor yishenu, bizmirot Naria lo. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena l'Adonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena l'Adonai. Top of page 13. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai barechu shemo, pasru miyom liyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim niflotav, ki gadol Adonai umchulal meod, norahu al kol Elohim, ki kol Elohei havemim elilim, v'Adonai shamayim asa, od v'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים, לא. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים, לא. יהלו שרה וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, וימים באמונתו. Psalm 97 on page 14. אדוני מלך דגל הארץ, ישמחו איים רבים. ענן קרב לזבח, אוהבי אדוני שנאו רע, שומר לבשור חסידיו, מיד רשעים יצילם. אור זרוע עליו, of page 15, a psalm. Sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. Together, God's right hand, God's holy arm, has won God victory. Adonai has manifested God's victory, has displayed God's triumph in the sight of the nations. God was mindful of God's steadfast love and faithfulness toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth beheld the victory of our God. Raise a shout to Adonai, all the earth. Break into joyous songs of praise. We're at the bottom of page 15. Harulin al Adonai kol haaretz, pitzchu v'ra'nenu v'zameru. Page 16 is that joyous song. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzatzrot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, yihiram hayam u'melo, tevel v'yoshveiva. About the natural world offering praise to Adonai. There's something about the natural order of how God envisions our universe to be. And for God to come and rule the earth with justice and all its peoples with equity is something we can surely all pray for at this moment in time. We'll continue on to page 18 with Psalm 29. It's more than David, a psalm of David. Of course, many of these psalms are of David.
Kavod
וסריון כמו ונורי cup of 19 כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יחלל איילון Page 20. We welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst, whatever that means to you, whether it's a metaphorical figure marching down the aisle, or if it's the spirit of all these souls in the room. I just have to say it's wonderful to see so many people in the room once more. I'm so glad to have you all here and to hear you all singing. But I could always use more cowbell. So feel free to sing louder if you are comfortable doing so. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Shamur vezachor vedibur echad yishmiyanu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shemo tiferet v'letila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikדם lesucha sof ma'aseh b'mashavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Verse 5. Hitoreri ki va'orech u'mi'ori ori uri shitameri kevod Adonai alayech ligla. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. I invite you to rise and to greet that metaphorical spirit of shalom, or to greet those around you, or if you'd rather just continue facing me and greeting my punim, that's good too. Verse 9. Bohoi l'shalom ha'ateret ba'ala gam besimcha u'betzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. anyone who would like to show off their costume tonight to come forward. We've just sung about the angels. We said, Boachem l'shalom. Come angels, come forward. So anyone who would like to show off their and you'll have to tell us. You'll stand right there, so you're in camera, you're in frame, and I'm gonna see. Let's see. Yes, I'm familiar with this costume. I think I saw it the other night. This is an identity theft. An identity thief. Great job. Okay, wait. So, thank you. Beautiful job. Now we've got Eliza and Layla. Come show us your costumes. Wow. Can you stand up on the bima? Can you get up on there so everyone can see you? Right. Ooh. So here we have clearly Five-ish Finkel and Yasala Rosenblatt. Tell us what your costumes are. Esther. I've heard of Esther. Esther mein Schwester. That means Esther, my sister, in Persian. Okay, and what's your costume? Snow White. Snow White. I think I've heard of her too. Yeah, just don't eat any apples, okay? All right, thank you, ladies. Very lovely. All right, and Mom also has a costume, clearly. The mom she's the mom in the hat. Mom in the hat. Mom in the hat. Who made sure that her beautiful daughters were costumed appropriately for the evening. Anyone else have a costume they'd like to show off? Does anyone have a costume they don't want to show off that we can mock mercilessly? No? Okay. Well, that's okay. I want to thank you all you brave souls, for coming up, and everyone who wore a funny hat. I also have funny hats. I can't make this one work so well. I wore it the other night. It really digs into my scalp. I think you need hair. But that's okay, because I happen to have some hair. Just for the occasion, so you can see what I look like with hair. How's that look? Yeah, I think I look like a member of the rock band Kiss. Or any rock band for that matter. But here. Oops. There we go. That's the outfit, right? That's what you're all waiting for. Okay. So, that being said and done, we can reward all of you who came in costume in some way, shape, or form, even if that costume is just a different outfit than your pajamas. Your prize is Hamantaschen. We have plenty of them to distribute, so please take some home with you so that the rest of us who work here day to day don't continue to eat them. I have pants to fit into. Thank you. Okay. Let's turn to page 28 and rise as we respond to the call to prayer. Yada lai lai lai, la la lai lai read together at the bottom of page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opening the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv. Page 32. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shochbeinu u'v'komeinu nasiach b'chokecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה יומם ולילה באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 34. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed. Not lashevet, please be seated. We continue with the words of Ve'ahavta on page 36. And those of you who are wearing beautiful costumes, I know you know this, so I want to hear you. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta baham beshivtecha beveitecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochpecha uvkumecha ukashartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot bein einecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen. Let's read together on page 39 at the bottom. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 40. Lai, lai, la, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u v'necha, okei hayam lifnei Moshe. ונאמר כי פדרנה את יעקב גואלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. So we turn to page 42. We ask God to spread Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace over us, and to lie us down and raise us up renewed. And that shelter of peace is one that so many people right now lack. Let us pray that Sukkot Shalom that we pray for can be extended over, as we say at the last stanza, over all the people of Israel, over all of Jerusalem, and over Kol Yoshvei Tevel, over all the world where people dwell. Page 42. Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'yamideinu shomreinu lechayim. Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'yamideinu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha. Let's read together. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. That guarding, that shomreinu, is something that we do every week. When we come to this moment in time, we guard and keep Shamor v'Zachor. And so as we turn to page 44, let us shamru. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית העולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. Page 46, we rise from Amidah. Adonai Sevatai Tiftach, Yagid Tehillatech. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, מביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. Page 50. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נוכלים ונופך עולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחייב ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה והחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. God created everything, מחיי הכל, even mistakes, even purposeful mistakes. Shai's having a little fun with me, a little Purim fun. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. I invite you to take a few moments for private meditations of the heart, using the words of your mind or the words provided on the page, whichever is most comfortable for you. I'm on page 60, the evening prayer for peace, a great peace. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atah hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atah hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל We turn our thoughts now to those who are ailing in our midst, those beloved souls whose names we hold in our hearts and whom we wish to share. I want to invite you to share their names if you're comfortable as my eyes meet yours. We go throughout the room. Try to name names. I'll add to that list of names Randy Buslick and Devorah Bat Basya. Let's pray for their speedy recovery of Refuat HaNefesh or Refuat HaGuf on page 253. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Well, we've reached the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the time when the cantor takes about 55 minutes to expound on a minor piece of halachic interest. And so I hope you'll indulge. No, I'm kidding, of course. We are about to partake of the Purim Spiel video, which is virtual this year. And I think it's going to be great. I hope you'll enjoy it. It is brought to you by Adlo Yada Hamantashen and Fine Beverages. As I think you can tell, this is some very tasty looking stuff. So, and I'm a little thirsty right now. So if you'll allow me, I'm just gonna. Oh yeah. Woo! I think it's about 120 proof. So I'm going to invite you to turn your attention to the screen in the room. If you miss any of this, we will share it again, of course, through a link of some sort. Some of the volume might be a little tricky, and so if you have one of these fine implements, it works like this. Yes. So when you hear the appropriate name, I'm going to encourage you to give it 3 shakes, maybe 4. Any more than that, and you might turn it to dust, which might not seem like a big deal, but these boxes of shakeable material and noise-making material actually will be donated to, there'll be matanot levionim, gifts to the poor who are less fortunate than us. And so these boxes of ranzoni, the San Fernando treat, please don't shake them too hard or too much, because you want to be able to hear everything that is being said on the spiel, and I can guarantee you there's going to be some quiet spots. So whoever produced this, not so great on some of the tech pieces. But let's see, are we queued up? Does it look like we're queued up? Are we queued up? Okay, so if everyone has their groggers, without any further ado, roll tape.
Good evening. Rachel Mattify here. Forgive us as we interrupt our regular programming with some shocking, truly shocking news. Purim is not canceled this year. I repeat, not canceled. After 2 years of rather meh programming throughout the Jewish world, we are turning things upside down once more. Will we pull it off? Are you being put on? Mask on? Mask off? Too soon? For more information, we go to our special correspondent, Harry Hamantashen. Harry?
Thanks, Rachel. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm here at a local bakery where hundreds of freshly baked triangular cookies are being pumped out as fast as these ovens can handle. I've spoken to the butler, the candlestick maker, and of course the baker, and here's what he had to say.
There's no crime in baking hamantash, and I'm not sure what all the fuss is about. During COVID, everyone baked their butts off and nobody complained, even after they packed on those pandemic runs. Back then we pumped out just as many, and there was no issues at the time. Why should there be one now?
Sir, could it be not about the volume, but the type of hamantash that you're making?
I don't catch your meaning. I'm not sure how that's relevant.
We've learned that some of the outcry is over the flavor of your fillings. Can you confirm that some of your hamantashen are filled with jelly made from watermelon?
I don't see how that's even possible.
Do you deny that your bakery has received shipment of hundreds of watermelons?
Israelis love watermelons. Everyone loves watermelons. What's your point?
They aren't a traditional flavor, you must admit.
Even if I was making watermelon hamantash, and I'm not saying I am, or that there's anything wrong with it, but it would require a baker of immense skill and good taste to produce such a thing.
So there are other flavors?
Okay. Of course, I make for my Baba the Moon the traditional poppy seed. Here, try.
Oh no, these are pretty excellent, I must admit.
That's because of the secret ingredient. Adlo yada.
Adlo yada, what's that?
I can't say anything more than that. It's too dangerous. They're watching. If you want more answers, talk to my lawyer, Gary Slobin.
And there you have it. Watermelon hamantashen. And some super secret ingredient called adlo yada in the poppy seed mun version that turns them into addictive super mon hamantashen. Watch this space.
Great.
All right. Well, that was really fun.
I was sitting on my couch throughout the pandemic and didn't get to celebrate Purim last year. I got COVID and I lost my sense of smell and taste. And now I can't tell raspberry from apricot. I need help with this case of hamantashitis. I'm ready to turn myself upside down and get off my hamantush.
Turn things upside down and say ah with adlo yada.
I used to have a hard time with the different flavors of hamantash. I mean, really, prune? I can never tell the difference between poppy seed and prune. Then when I get the wrong one, it creates discomfort in my mouth. I'm ready to get off my hamantush, but I need help with this case of hamantashitis.
Get ready, America, to say so long to hamantashitis with adlo yada from Esther Pharmaceuticals. Adlo yada is Hebrew for until one cannot know. Adlo yada is brewed with a compound that uses aged organic grains and fruits that are fermented together, then combined with a proprietary blend of botanicals.
Wait, isn't that basically the same recipe as gin?
Adlo yada is then filtered through poppy seeds and heated to a boiling point of 173.1 degrees until it evaporates. It's then instantly chilled to condense using a precise molecular compound of C2H5OH.
So it is moonshine.
Adlo yada is then aged in stainless steel barrels to the full blue hue and delicious flavor.
Oh, that's Hush, all right.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Beth-El, a real doctor who also plays one on TV. Adlo yada is Hebrew for until you can't tell the difference. On Purim, we should be so overjoyed that we can't tell the difference between Mordecai and Haman. I can confirm that adlo yada changes your mood by increasing receptors in the hippocampus of the brain to be more open and receptive to Purim. I prescribe it to everyone, and even take it myself throughout Adar. I love Purim, and adlo yada is why. Ask your doctor or nurse practitioner if adlo yada is right for you throughout Adar.
Consult with your local rabbinic authority before you consume adlo yada. Do not drive, operate heavy machinery, or shop on Amazon while consuming adlo yada. Adlo yada may not be suitable for young children or for recovering alcoholics. Side effects may include dizziness, increased sociability, inebriation, intoxication, loss of inhibition, and/or your clothing. Do not combine adlo yada with poppy seed filling. Patients doing so will experience a condition known as supermoon and may run amok. While taking adlo yada, you may find yourself booing loudly at the mention of the name Haman and no longer be able to tell the difference between Haman and Mordecai.
Forget Mordecai and Haman. I can't tell the difference between Esther and Vashti.
And I can't tell the difference between Mordecai and Esther. What year is this anyway? 2018?
It's 2022. Hey, Haman, kiss my Haman tush.
Say so long to Hamantashitis and say ah with Ad Lo Yada from Esther Pharmaceutical. In the Jewish justice system, pastry-based offenses by Haman are considered especially heinous. In Shushan City, dedicated detectives who investigate these delicious pastries are part of an elite squad known as the Special Pastries Unit. These are their calories.
Beth-El, this is Joy. Special Pastries Unit. How can I help you? Good afternoon, Temple Beth-El. This is Joy. Special Pastries Unit. How can I help you?
I don't know why the Sarge called us in.
I hope he doesn't give us any of his gallows humor.
Detective Mordecai, Detective Esther, you've caught a case. A case of cookies.
Oh, good. I missed breakfast today.
Somebody is distributing hopped up Hamantashen with something called Ad Lo Yada, a designer drug that gets people addicted to Purim.
Sounds delicious.
Where do we start?
It's a kosher bakery in Queens. We got a tip, their distribution point.
I think I saw that on the news last night.
Go get a dozen, bring me a few, but none of those weird watermelon flavors. I like poppy and moon.
Ripped from the headlines. Bizarre pastry triangle.
Don't.
Pastry triangle. Are you the baker?
Whoa, I don't know what you're after, but whatever it is, I got an alibi.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about we take you down to the station and we call your Scroll officer?
Yeah, okay, I'm on scroll it, but hey, this is just my day job. By night, I'm just a kid. Usually. Yeah, okay, I'm on scroll it, but hey, this is only my day job. By night, I'm just a kid. Usually. But I'm no snitch. Besides, I got nothing to hide. But I'm no snitch. Besides, I got nothing to hide.
Oh yeah, what's in the crate, David?
Oh, what is this? Ad Lo Yada. You're putting this in Hamantashen?
Hey man, I got a special order, you know what I mean? Someone calls it in, but there's no name, no caller ID. I don't know who I'm dealing with, I can't refuse. I could lose my lemon frosting. They've got me by the bun pen. I spilled the beans and I'm fudged. My cake is cooked, my babka is busted. You want more answers? You gotta ask around for Elaine. She knows everything and everyone.
Detective Esther and Mordecai.
Well, if it isn't the Special Pastries Unit, to what do I owe the honor?
We'd like to ask you a few questions about the spiked Hamantashen.
What makes you think I know anything about it?
A little bird told us you know the whole Megillah.
Hey man, just because I know everybody and everything doesn't mean I know everybody and everything. Got it? Me and a girl's gotta eat. I got temple dues to pay. There's a new super moon flavor Hamantashen on the street. It's making people nuts. They're turning everything upside down. They can't tell the difference between day and night. funny and serious, or even who the rabbi is at any given time.
I need a name.
Hey, man, it's dangerous asking those sort of questions. Her name is Roberta Lulav. She's part of the secret cookie mafia around here. Makes amazing cookies. People can't resist them. She's been pushing Purim for years. If anyone's pushing hopped up Hamantashen, she'd know. But hey, man, you're chasing a ghost.
All that for a little information.
It's like a Hamantash. You gotta go through a desert of dough just to get a little jelly.
Gives me a great idea. Maybe we need to go right to the source.
You know, I got a CI at the Onik.
Follow the money.
Ah, money. Are you Roberta Lulav? Who wants to know?
Special Pastries Unit.
Hey, there's me, the cookie cops. What's next? Bread bouncers? That's a totally different show. You know, Special Seder Unit, Thursdays, 9 p.m. But Pesach is a month from now. We're here to talk about Hamantash, laced with Ad Lo Yada. Hey, man! I just make them. I use the filling I'm given. I can't help what they're shaped like or why people eat them. Whoa, 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 TMI. Listen, we have it on good authority that you're part of the secret cookie mafia around here. That Elaine. I love her, but her mouth is bigger than my oven. Hey, man! It's no secret that I make great cookies. Half a Great Neck comes to TBE for them. They bring all the boys to the yard.
How about you come down to the station?
Hey, man! Everybody at TBE knows my cookies. Just like everybody knows there's no Santa. And just everybody knows that there's no secret cookie mafia. You got bupkis.
Really? Look at these people. They just ate your Hamantashen. Kids got addicted to Purim on their own.
So good. Why do you think that you like them when I like them more? I love Hamantashen.
Ad Lo Yada.
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 I want to be Vashti.
No, I want to be Vashti.
No, I want to be Vashti.
No, I want to be Vashti.
I want to be a Hashbearer. No, I want to be a Hashbearer. But I'm already a Hashbearer. What do you mean I am? No, I am. No, I am. No, I am. I'm a Hashbearer. I'm already a Hashbearer. You can't say anything about it. I'm already a Hashbearer. No, I'm a Hashbearer. No, I am. No, I am. I don't want to be Haman.
Boo! I don't want to be Haman either.
Boo!
You should be Haman.
Boo!
I don't want to be Haman.
Boo!
I want to be the short one.
I want to be the tall one.
I want to be the short one.
And 525,600 flavors, 525,000 fillings to try. 525,600 flavors. There's just one favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Like chocolate or cherry, apricot, and strawberry, raspberry, mixed berry, watermelon. 525,600 flavors. How do you pick just one favorite style? What about man? How about man? What about man? Hamantashan. Hamantash. Man. Hamantash. Man. I think we got that.
I think so.
Yeah. We're ready for prime time.
Come on. Kids don't just burst into a Purim spiel on their own. Purim carnivals just don't simultaneously happen. We got you with your hand in the proverbial cookie jar. All right. You may have me on the cookies, but that's it.
Maybe we can make a delicious deal.
Okay, if you want the source of the super mun, I'm gonna need poppy immunity. Otherwise, mun's the word. We can work with that.
I get it. You guys are out there beating pavement to keep our temple safe. I want these abusive bakers off the street as much as you do. I want to throw the cookbook at them. But even though I'm king, judge, DA, and temple president, I can't just wave my scepter or bang my gavel. The law is the law. I need hard-baked evidence to make a case, and right now the Special Pastries Unit doesn't have the dough. I'm not going to trial without enough filling, especially when it comes to Hamantashen. If you're bringing charges, bring me proof. I don't want any hearsay or mamby-pamby virtue signaling. Let's put the cookie crooks where they belong, behind bars of chocolate.
Open up! Special Pastries Unit.
Shalom, Chag Purim Sameach. How can I help you, detectives?
You must be notorious RBS. We received a solid tip that this address is the source of the Adlo Yada being infused into Hamantashen. Those are getting people hooked on Purim.
Hey, man. I don't understand the problem. It's Purim. People should be happy.
If you don't mind, Rabbi, we'd like to take a peek inside. I smell Hamantashen baking.
Hey, man. That's hardly probable cause. Now's not a great time. We're packing up our house for a move. Come back in late July. I'll be happy to talk then.
In time for us to return to an empty house.
Thanks for stopping by, detectives Esther and Mordecai. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact my lawyer. His name is Gary Slobin.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffering from hamantashitis experienced addiction or overenthusiastic behavior while taking the substance Adlo Yada from Esther Pharmaceuticals? Please stand by for an important announcement from the Howard Herman Law Group.
Have you suffered from Purim spiel malpractice? Was your loved one emotionally injured when Cantor Adam used a wrong melody? Did your soup go cold due to the length of a rabbi's Devar Torah? Have you been addicted to Purim after eating Hamantash laced with Adlo Yada? You could be owed lots of money this Purim. I'll make sure you get what you've got coming. I'm attorney Howard Herman, specializing in TBE emergencies of all sorts. We've settled more cases than Purim has groggers.
Help me, Howard. I have a TB emergency. I think my rabbis are missing. I think they moved to Israel.
We can secure a new one. Our firm does the whole Megillah.
Help me, Howard. I have a TB emergency. I couldn't get connected to services on Zoom. Help me.
I think that's a job for tech support. What's that? You're muted.
Help me, Howard. I have a TBE emergency. My tour portion was too short.
Is that really a thing? What is wrong with you people? Don't wait for deliverance from heaven. Get off your ham and tush and get the justice you deserve.
The proceeding was not a real advertisement for attorney Howard Herman, and the Howard Herman Law Group neither endorses this message nor does it even really exist. Ad Lo Yada is not a real product, but you really should celebrate Purim Ad de Lo Yada until you can't differentiate between Haman and Mordechai. No rabbis were harmed in the making of this spiel, at least not intentionally. Attorney Gary Slovan did not threaten to sue us when he read the original script. There is no cookie mafia. The events portrayed were not based on actual events or individuals, except those listed in the Megillah, and any resemblance is purely coincidental. Happy Purim, and please drink responsibly.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I think they took the bait. I told them nothing. No one suspects a thing. Your cover is safe.
And it's in your best interest that it stays that way, Stoller. Temple Beth-El, good afternoon. This is Joy. How can I help you? Special pastries unit.
Well, I know what I'm going to be eating tonight. Before we continue on to Aleinu and Kaddish, I do want to take a couple moments to, in this moment of levity and lightness, it's a weird time in the world, and I should point out that today is what's called Shushan Purim. Shushan Purim is a day after Purim that's celebrated by people who live in walled cities like Shushan. That's because the fighting in Shushan lasted a second day, and so it became a tradition, a law, that if you lived in a walled city, you celebrated the day following. So that's an interesting thing. Not the third day, but the second day. So this idea of days is actually in this week's Torah portion, Tzav. It comes up. There's a lot of sacrifices that are talked about, and most of them apply to the priests specifically, but there's one that is mentioned, and in chapter 7, verse 11, it's the ritual of well-being, the sacrifice for well-being that anyone could do. And if you wanted to if you survived some dangerous experience, or you experienced deliverance from that danger, you would offer this sacrifice for well-being. And like many things, the sacrifice was made, and you would partake of it on the day that it happens, and you could also partake of it the second day. But on the third day, you're supposed to turn it into ash, burn it. Don't eat from it. It's an abomination to God. That's what the Torah says. That anyone who does this, it's an offensive thing on the third day. So the first day is fine. Second day is also okay. But the third day is not. Then we have to turn it into ash. we're all watching as the cities of Ukraine are being turned into ash. And it's this interesting parallel. We're not in the first day or second day or even the third day anymore. Now we're in the third week of war that's being waged. And the fire is not the fire of the altar in Jerusalem at the old temple. It's more akin to the fire that we read about in a couple of weeks that Nadav and Avihu, the sons of Aaron, offer. And it's called Eish Zara, strange fire, alien fire, that is not acceptable to God. And it's for that reason that these sons of Aaron perish. Those who offer strange fire, who burn cities and turn them into ash, seem to be doing something really strange. I can't help but think that each Stinger missile, each Javelin anti-tank weapon that's fired at the forces of Vladimir Putin are similar to the fire that consumes Nadav and Avihu for their strange and alien fire. To us in the West, in America especially, it's not the desecration of sacrifice, it's the desecration of democracy that seems to be so offensive. And not just that to us Jews, it's not just democracy. We've lived under tyranny before. It's the desecration of life that's so horrifying. So as we pray for shalom and shlemut, this wellness that we read about, this sacrifice for well-being, we can see clearly that our brethren and other Ukrainian refugees are not experiencing shalom. They're not experiencing a sense of wholeness, of well-being, of shlemut. And it's the exact opposite, that families are torn apart and cities are torn apart, buildings are being torn apart. I talked about this idea of Shushan Purim. There's another kind of Purim as well. Besides Shushan Purim, there's something called Purim Sheni, or Purim Katan, it's sometimes called. And it's not just for cities that are walled, it's for communities that experience a sense of survival after some dangerous episode, usually after a tyrant has tried to exterminate the Jews in a particular place. They celebrate Purim Katan as a way of moving forward and healing. It's my great hope that that those Jews of the Ukrainian cities, many of whom are fleeing and are going to neighboring Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, some are even going to Israel now. Some may stay in those places, and that's fine, but most have stayed, and my hope is many will return as well to rebuild their families and their cities and their homes and their country, especially one that is being led by a Jewish president. It seems rather appropriate that perhaps next year at this time, when they celebrate Purim, they'll celebrate their own Purim Katan, that they've survived the assault on them and their brothers and sisters by this awful ruler. It's really interesting. I'll share one thing that I read this week by an Israeli urban planner named Shlomo Angel. And he writes that when he was 5 years old, he spent not 1, not 2 days, but 7 months in a bomb shelter in Jerusalem because Jerusalem was under assault. And he missed an entire year of kindergarten. And then later on, the roles were reversed, and he was an officer in the Israeli artillery encircling an army in Sinai. And so while that siege was taking place, he also asked, how long will it last? And the joke was, we don't know, they're negotiating. Could take a week, could take a year. But he talked about the fact that as an urban planner, cities, whether they're walled or not, are resilient. They're built to last and to stand against these very kinds of attacks that we're seeing. And he quotes the 6th century Chinese general, Sun Tzu, who says that the worst policy of all is to besiege walled cities because, not just because they take a toll on civilians, but because they're futile. invariably they fail. And one would think that Vladimir Putin would take a history lesson from his own country, from the siege of Stalingrad, which lasted for so many, many months and eventually broke the back of the invading German army. It's clear to me that next year, this time, there'll be a Purim Katan that's going to be celebrated in Ukraine. And the question that we have to ask ourselves here in America is, how long will we wait before removing the ash? How long until we help rebuild? How long until we commit ourselves and pressure our leaders to do more? We have some wonderful kids who are doing a basketball fundraiser. We see drives for clothing, and these are all fine and good. But I want to encourage all of you to find one of the initiatives that's being run by one of the major Jewish organizations here in America, whether it's HIAS or UJA or even JNF is doing things to resettle people, because they have partnerships on the ground and they have ways of making impacts, real impacts on people's lives. So let's do that and be paying attention for ways to contribute either with our treasure or with our time to help resettle those who are suffering and relieve the stress so that they can rebuild their lives in time to come with a world that is perfected in peace. Speaking of a world perfected, let us turn our thoughts to the Aleinu, which we find on page 282, that prayer which speaks about the perfection of the world under God's kingship. Page 282, bottom of the page. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 27. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו May be seated for a moment. We turn to page 294, and as we do so, we turn our hearts to those who are observing Yortzites and those who are mourning in our midst. We are observing in the past 30 days the passing of Barbara Gershenson, Eli Marcus, Arnold Rosenfeld, and Marion Sherman. This week we're also observing the Yortzites of Norma and Jeff Auerbach, Fred Feldman, Sabrina Gross, Jeanette Hollins, Stuart Larrick, Rebecca Levine, Belle Nassau, Abram Rosen, Arthur Spiro, Annette Zitron. If you're here to say Kaddish for someone else who I've not named, feel free to rise now and share their name with us. If it's your custom to rise and recite Kaddish for the martyrs of our people, please feel free to do so on page 294 as we say together, Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei rabba ve'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach le'alam elamei almaya יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbehata v'nehmata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Now Lashevet, you may be seated. Okay. Somewhere here there's some announcements. Oh, yes. Here we go. The first announcement is that tonight's Oneg will not be in the lobby.
Yay.
It's going to be in your car. No, it's going to be downstairs in the atrium. So please join us downstairs. Doesn't that feel great? So we'll see you down there. While we're there, there are some faces that I have never seen here, at least not masked. So if you think you might be a new face to me, please do me the favor of coming up and saying hello, of tugging on my sleeve and introducing yourself. Even if I've met you with a mask on, please come say hi with your mask off so we can say hello properly and be introduced. Okay. Torah Study is online tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the shmooze and 9:15 for the study itself, being led by Mored David. So it'll be online and in person, followed by a Shabbat morning service that will also be online and in person. Don't ask me for the link. I haven't had it memorized, but it's somewhere buried in your emails. Sunday, March 20th, Anti-Semitism, Understanding and Action, 10 a.m. That's this Sunday. So we're going to hear from Regional Director of the ADL, Scott Richmond, to talk about what is going on with anti-Semitism. Clearly it's on the rise. Okay, on Thursday, there's going to be an adult ed program at 10:30 in the morning. The topic is immigration. I believe that will be with our very good friend Frank Abrams. Sunday the 27th, Brotherhood Monthly Meeting with Breakfast, 9 a.m. Okay, and then we're getting into April. For that, I'm going to encourage you to just look at your emails because I can't remember what's going to happen next Tuesday, let alone a week from next Tuesday. So, lots of good stuff going on. I want to thank Shai for doing what he does always, every week, whenever we're here. Thank you to Rabbis Meir and Tara, who are taking care of some family stuff right now. Our thoughts and our hearts are with them, and especially Rabbi Meir and his family. Thank you to our ushers this evening, and the Gretches. Are the Gretches here? I'm so sorry, I didn't have you guys come up and light candles. I didn't see that on the list, but it's there. It's Fred's 75th birthday. Happy birthday, Fred! Okay, thank you to our Oneg bakers, Linda Diamond, Cheryl Silverstein, Roberta Lulov, and Sandy Gretsch. Thank you, Sandy. And the Margaloff family for the challah. I'm going to invite up for Kiddush and Motzi, the Oken family. Come on up, guys. Good to see you guys. It's been a while. And while they're coming up, we can turn to page, I think, 4. You're actually going to have to pour the wine. ויהי ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכול אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא Elohim la'asot savri. L'chaim? Go ahead. Wait. Say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabat kodsho b'yahava v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziyad mitzrayim Kivanu b'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabat kodshecha b'yahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat Lechaim. Very good. Okay, thank you. Let's do Hamotzi. We'll unwrap some of the. Are there two of them unwrapped there? That's good. Hold them together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Happy birthday, Will, and happy birthday, Kathy. Okay, thank you, Okins. It's great to see you guys. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll hear a little piano by Will afterwards, if we're fortunate. Okay, let's conclude. You can have a seat if you want, or you can stay up here, but it's nice to sit down. I don't know how the rolls are. They fresh?
Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
Billy just had his NISMA trials yesterday.
Oh.
Did really well.
Congratulations. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, I want to hear all about it downstairs. Because we're celebrating Purim, as we turn to page 321 to close with Adon Olam, I will take a request for a tune. Okay, I was hoping for something like a show tune. Shir nivra le'et nasa b'chetzoko azai melech shemo nikra Adon Olam ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni le'am shelo le'achbira Adon Olam ve'ein apni Adon Olam. Okay, now I got the page. Asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra v'yet nasa b'chetzoko azai melech shemo nikra Adon. Now I got it. V'yacharei tichlot hakol levado yimloch nora Adon Olam ve'hu haya ve'hu hoveh ve'hu yeh b'tifara Adon Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, b'terem kol, yetzir nivra, li'et nasa, b'chetzoko, azai melech shemo nikra Adon Olam, ve'hu echad, v'yein sheni, lehamshilo lehachbira Adon Olam, beli reshit, beli tachlit, ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamisra Adon Olam, ve'hu eli, Chai goali, v'tzorchem li b'yetzara Adon Olam, ve'hu nisi, umanos li, v'narkosi b'yom mikra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem malach, b'terem kol, yetzir nivra, li'et nasa, b'chetzoko, azai melech shemo nikra Adon Olam, beyado avgid ruchi, Tishan v'yaira Adon Olam ve'im ruchi keviyati Adonai li ve'lo ira Adon Olam Adon Olam Hashem malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra v'yet nasa b'chetzoko azai melech shemo nikra Adon Olam Hashem malach b'terem kol Ad Lo Yada.